Hola, hola guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very excited because I will be showing you video 1 out of my home series where I basically show you how I transform my 2-bedroom old rent control apartment into the apartment of my dreams. Basically how this journey started is for about 2 years now, I've been really working in trying to increase the amount of joy that I feel every day. So I started listening to a bunch of podcasts, I started reading a lot of self-help books, and I realized that a lot of them mentioned that in order to increase joy, you need to fall in love with your present. And this sounds like a very easy statement, but for someone like me who builds crazy expectations in their future, was very challenging. I found myself constantly living in this imaginary perfect future world that I was never able to reach. And one day I woke up and I'm like, that's it, Mariana, you can't be the victim anymore. Let's start by changing things that don't make you happy in your present. And that one for me, a big one, was my apartment. So that's the story of how this journey started. Now I'm going to show you what I did with the bedroom. I started with the big items in the room. The rug, because my landlord didn't let me change my poopy carpet, so I'm like, okay, I need to cover it up as much as I can. So I found this amazing rug in Home Goods. It was $250. It's 100% wool. So that was my first inspiration. I'm like, okay, now that I have my color palette of the rug, now I can start working in the whole room. In my bedroom, I don't have a lot of walls to work with, and I am a huge fan of hanging things in the wall, but I'm like, okay, what do I do now? I have no space. I only have like 3 corners. So that's why I decided to do wall paneling. And for me, wall paneling itself looks like an art piece. It does. It's like dressing the walls in a cheaper way than you would do with wallpaper. Instead of using real wood for the paneling, I decided to use MDF material. This material is really easy to manipulate. You can cut it with a saw. I don't have a lot of power tools. I have a hand saw, so I was able just to cut the pieces by hand, and that's exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to rent the crazy power tools. I got inspired by one of the colors in the rug. It's like this navy blue / gray. Oh, it's this color right here. It's called Metal Blue by Behr. I'm gonna link it down below. And the one on the top is just the bright white, also from Behr. And a helpful tip is, if you have a very ugly fan like I did, I found a candle holder, and instead of putting a candle in the middle, I put the light bulb from the fan. I have no idea how I'm going to remove the light bulb once that one goes out, but it looks very cute, and I found that at Marshall. Moving into curtains. Guys, I am obsessed with linen. Linen everywhere, and when I found out that IKEA was carrying linen, I went crazy. Because usually linen curtains are a couple $100, and in IKEA they start at $40. So I got 3 sets of linen curtains, one for behind the bed, another one for the balcony, and the third one for the closet. That's another tip. I had very bulky doors that didn't work properly. They just took a lot of space in the room. So I removed them and I put the curtains instead. And I love that I can still close them out and I don't have to look at the closet, but they don't take any room. Another one of my big purchases was the bed frame. I believe I got it in Wayfair. It was over $400. It's real wood. I love that it pulled the gray tones from the room. I saved up and I fell in love with it because I couldn't find anything out there thrifted that I loved. The bedding, it's all linen. As you can see, I'm obsessed, but it is pricey, guys. If you want to get luxury linen, Etsy has some sellers that have the most delicious linen, but it's also very pricey, and I didn't want to spend that much money. So I went ahead and I got the white comforter from IKEA. It is linen, but it's very stiff. You're gonna need to wash that baby probably 50 times before it feels smooth. But I am at the point where I can guarantee that it does get smoother over time. That's a beautiful thing about linen. And then the neutral gray beige comforter that you see on top, I got this from TJ Maxx. So you can actually find beautiful linen comforters on TJ Maxx, Home Goods, or Marshall. So always keep an eye and check them out. Then furniture. This one behind me was a gift from my close friend Ashley. Thank you, Ashley, if you're watching. She also gave me my dresser, but the dresser used to be white. and I fell upon this artist. Her name is Dionne Woods. Dionne, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, I'm sorry guys. I'm gonna link her down below. She is amazing. She has the most beautiful furniture designs, and I was so inspired and I wanted to try it out. So I got a bunch of chalk paint, shades that would match my rug and just different elements that I already had in the room, and I went to town. I painted the dresser, I painted my jewelry box that belonged to my grandma. I painted 2 nightstands that I found on Out of the Closet. Out of the Closet is this amazing thrift store in LA. It's one of my favorites. I would highly recommend it if you live in the area. Also my lamps. I fell in love with those lamps. I got it in the Out of the Closet and they were black. It didn't go with the aesthetic of the room, but I just painted them with chalk paint. I mixed the blue with the gray to get like this beautiful sage green to match this base. I found this base in another thrift store and it said it was made in Mexico, just like me. So I'm like, I need this in my room, and I love the color, so I decided to get inspired by this to match the lamps. And if you read Marie Kondo, I'm totally pronouncing her name like it was the Mexican name, but okay, Marie Kondo. She says to bring things that spark joy, and that's another big thing that I did in the room. I have my sage and my palo santo, I have my candles, and I have my crystals all over the place. And I have paintings that bring me joy and remind me of my beautiful family. The painting right behind me, it belonged to my grandma, and it's just this beautiful scenery of Paris. It also matches with the color palette, and it just reminds me of this magical romantic city. And the other painting belongs to my other grandma. That woman in that painting is actually my mother when she was 14, and it just brings a bunch of joy knowing that she's kind of watching over the room in a non-creepy way. That is it. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Hopefully it inspired you to fall in love with your current situation a little more every day. And don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and the like button. 3 things to do. Thank you so much and have a beautiful, beautiful day.